Insight meditation, my four foundations of mindfulness. Four satipatthana. There are four postures in the Dhamma practice, namely standing, walking, sitting, and lying. Standing meditation. Standing posture is the first posture to start the Dhamma's practice. In standing meditation, we must easily stand upright with eyes closed, be relaxed, neither harden our body nor fidget, and put the left hand on the surface of abdomen and the right hand on the left one. Closing eyes in standing meditation is absolutely recommended because eyes will not see other eye objects coming to appear at the eye door. By doing so, we do not waste time to mindfully note the sense objects of the mind and matter. Some meditators may think that opening eyes in standing meditation is better than closing eyes. That is all right, only that meditators must be mindful of the mind and matter by the right way of the four foundations of mindfulness. Satipatthana. In standing meditation, do stand straight, put the heels next to each other, and stand still. We are to know and understand the tips for the practice by the four foundations of mindfulness. Satipatthana. As mentioned in Mahasatipatthana Sutta for attaining the right understanding and cessation of suffering at last. In the Dhamma practice, what will be contemplated? While practicing standing meditation, we must mindfully note standing action and direct mindfulness and clear consciousness every moment on the mind and the matter appearing at the body door. In fact, during standing meditation, we realize standing because the feeling appears at the two heels and the soles touching the floor. While the soles, a part of body, are touching the floor, we feel that the floor is soft or solid. It is the feeling of the mind and matter appearing at the body door or body organ. The important principle in meditation practice is mindfully noting the mind and matter in four postures. In standing meditation practice, we must note what mind is and what matter is. We have to be mindful of them at six doors or six organs. When standing practicing meditation with eyes closed, we must let our feelings go naturally. These feelings may appear anywhere within the body. We must not control these feelings of the mind and matter to stay at any part of the body. We just follow to realize the mind and matter appearing at six doors or six sense organs. The important point is mindfully noting the physical body and not letting the mind go outside the body to perceive the other sense objects absolutely. In standing meditation, we must note the feeling of cold, heat, softness, or solidness, what mind is and what matter is, which feeling appears clearly at which part of the body. We must follow to note that feeling and know how the feeling is. While mindfully noting that feeling, we chant Buddho, Buddho. During the practice, mind has to realize the feeling of the mind and matter that occur, which are cold, heat, softness, and hardness. These feelings appear at the body door. They manifest obviously, at which the body door mind has to realize such a clear feeling in time and chant Buddho at the same time. The next step, we must follow to note the feelings, which part of the body they are moving to. This is to mindfully note the mind and matter at the part of the body where clear feelings appear. The mind and matter at the body door. Mindfulness has to be exercised by watching the arising and passing away of the mind and matter appearing at the body door or body organ. When the feelings of cold, heat, softness, or solidness rise at any part of the body, we must follow to note that part and must not absolutely force the mind to note any particular part as we wish. If we can mindfully note the feelings of the mind and matter appearing at the body door in time every moment they arise and pass away, it can be stated that we can realize the current sense objects. Observation on the standing meditation practice. In standing meditation, the feelings may mostly appear at the soles or hands placed on the abdominal surface. At whichever part of the body the feelings appear, we just follow to note them and realize them in time every moment they rise and pass away. This is the correct way of meditation practice. Closing eyes during standing meditation practice is the best way because we do not have to spend the time on noting the mind and matter appearing at the eye door. We must practice the standing meditation intensively until the strong painful feeling manifests. We must follow to note that the strong painful feeling until we can no longer practice in the standing posture due to the strong painful feeling. We thus need to change the standing meditation posture into another posture. When the practice comes to the step in which the strong painful feeling occurs, we must follow to note paining, until we feel that the pain and ache appearing at the legs is too strong for us to hold the body to practice meditation in the standing posture any longer. It is necessary to change the practice posture into another one. Please bear in mind that the strong painful feeling makes the body unwell. Accordingly, the mind is also suffering due to the effect of unhappy body. When the mind is wandering and conditioned by the mentioned painful feeling, we must follow to realize the state of mind in time every moment. When facing the most painful feeling resulting from the practice, we must mindfully note the physical body to know that the arising and passing away of the mind and matter all the time. Every time the strong painful feeling appears, mediators must follow to note them every time too. The sense object of the mind occurs to that the strong painful feeling. We must mindfully note that sense object every moment and must know that the suffering, the bodily pain and mental pain is manifesting. The suffering is the first truth of the Four Noble Truths. Therefore, meditators must distinguish which sense object is the sense object of feelings, which sense object manifests due to wandering and thinking mind, and which sense object is the sense object of suffering due to the most painful feeling that is mind object. Meditators must mindfully note and distinguish that the body is the base for noting the sense object of body, feelings, mind, and mind objects. These four sense objects manifest while we practice Dhamma, as early explained. When we can mindfully note and distinguish these sense objects sharply, we will be able to know that the sense objects, while practicing the standing meditation, are the sense objects of the four foundations of mindfulness: body, feeling, mind, and mind objects. It can be stated that we truthfully practice the four foundations of mindfulness in the right way. The mind and the matter are used as the sense objects of mindfulness as the body door or body organ at all times, coupled with chanting Buddho every moment. This is a complete practice. In standing meditation practice, we mindfully observe the mind and matter at the body door. Keep on standing. Suffering from painful legs will surely manifest. Uncomfortable and unhappy feelings will rise accordingly. The mind will then be conditioned. We only mindfully note it. When we practice till the utmost of suffering, we will realize the truth of life, which is a physical discomfort resulting from the practice. This is the truth of painful feelings, which is one sense object of the four foundations of mindfulness. This suffering is physical and mental discomfort, the first doctrine of the Four Noble Truths. We should also know that we will not have the sense object of the four foundations of mindfulness if we train our minds by mindfulness on other things outside the body. The sense objects of the four foundations of mindfulness remain within the body only. Dead man is a good example. His feelings of the sense object of satipatthana finish. Therefore, we must try to keep our mind to stay mindful of the body in the meditation practice. Therefore, we practitioners have to keep the mind mindful of the sense objects of the four foundations of mindfulness: body, feelings, mind, and mind objects, by using the mind and matter at the base of the practice. We resume standing meditation practice of the utmost of suffering resulting from the painful body. Mindfully note it. We cannot stand it any more when we then change the posture. This is the correct practice by means of the four foundations of mindfulness, or Vipassana Bhavana. Suggestions. During standing meditation practice, the mind has to be mindful of body, feelings, mind, and mind objects only. Simultaneously chanting Buddho to mindfully note the mind and matter appearing at the body door all the time is required. The word Buddho must be chanted silently to oneself, focusing on the feeling points of the mind and matter appearing clearly at the body door. The feelings of the mind and matter appears at one point of the body. Realizing it in time, we chant Bud. Then the feeling moves to another point of the body. We must train our mind to follow to mindfully note the feeling appearing at that new point of the body. At that time, we chant Do. Do it whenever we realize the feeling that moves to another point of body, or chant Budo, together depending on one's skill. Doing so in the standing meditation is clearly right. Please understand that all the time during the practice, if possible, we can chant Budo, Budo, in noting the feeling of the mind and matter. A good effect received from chanting Budo is that the chanting words help us who are newcomers to Dhamma practice not only establish some strength in concentration on the sense object of mind to overcome five hindrances which obstruct us from attaining path and fruition in Buddhism, but also enables the mind to be calm and concentrated easily and quickly. Therefore, mindfully noting and chanting Buddho must go together in the meditation practice. Please keep in mind that the significant point in Dhamma practice is that we practice Dhamma for the cessation of suffering, by removing all defilements completely and absolutely. To attain the objective, we must practice Dhamma by way of insight meditation, vipassana bhavana, to develop the mind to cultivate insight into suffering. In this regard, when starting practicing Dhamma by the four foundations of mindfulness, we must practice intensively and seriously in every posture, every time, until we can no longer practice, due to the strong painful feeling appearing at the body, so that we can train the mind to be able to realize the state of suffering as it is. Another important thing in noting the mind and matter in the standing meditation or other postures is that we must practice as a watcher who follows to look at the arising and passing away of the mind and matter. To be able to do so, we must have critical reflection, yoni somanasa sikara, in observing the mind and matter in every posture, every moment. When the mind and matter move, we realize them. If evenly doing so every day, we will be deaf in noting them and see their rising passing away all the time. Please bear in mind that realizing suffering is attaining and insight knowledge. The fruition depends on our wisdom and perseverance in mindfully noting the mind and matter as well. Conclusion of standing meditation practice. The meditation practice by way of the four foundations of mindfulness is mind development to attain mindfulness and clear consciousness and effort making. These three dhammas are essential for the Dhamma practice, and so we should try to know and understand them clearly. We must note, as a watcher, the mind and the matter resulting from any feeling like cold, heat, softness, and solidness appearing at the body door or body organ. This is regarded as mind development to attain more efficient and perfect mindfulness. Doing so is the right practice. Sati means attentiveness or mindfulness in the development of mind or the Dhamma practice by means of the four foundations of mindfulness. Do not let the mindfulness go away from the body. If we can train mind to be mindful of the body, the mind will stay still in the body by following to note the mind and matter as they are until we achieve concentration step by practicing vipassana bhavana. We will then be able to truly remove all defilements. In conclusion, the perfect and efficient mindfulness can be originated in mind because we can mindfully observe the mind and matter appearing at the body door or body organ. Sapajana means clear consciousness, awareness, and comprehension. Clear consciousness can be developed when we comprehend and can be always aware of ourselves. During standing meditation practice, we have to train mind to be aware of standing posture all over the body door and the feelings appearing at the body door, which are the feelings of the mind and matter. This then enables mind to cultivate consciousness within the body every moment. Doing so is building up clear comprehension, consciousness, awareness. Whenever our mind moves to any point of the body and the feelings appears at the point clearly, we can be aware of the change of the mind and matter in time all the time. Doing so will make our mind develop clear consciousness better than before, and be able to generate perfect quality of clear consciousness. Developed mind full of consciousness can do everything. In the Dhamma, practice by way of the four foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana, and the mind and matter are the most important things. We must understand and remember best how the mind and the matter appearing at six sense doors or six sense organs of the body are. While practicing Dhamma, we must also know what we mindfully note is the mind and matter. This is the correct practice. The Dhamma practice by way of the four foundations of mindfulness and insight meditation is for developing mind to attain perfect quality of mindfulness and clear consciousness to see suffering and to cease suffering. It is because the ordinary men's mind stay far away from mindfulness and clear consciousness, especially on the truth of the body, due to the derangements covering our minds every moment. If defilements are not removed, minds with derangements easily wander. The practice by four satipatthana, only one way which can develop our mind to attain mindfulness and clear consciousness with perfect quality, will enable us to attenuate defilements in minds gradually. This is the right way of insight meditation, vipassana bhavana. The practice will not be successful if without an intense effort. In this regard, we must make the most intensive effort in practicing the teachings by standing until the most painful feeling appears, and we can no longer go on practicing in the standing posture. After that, we change to the new posture. This is the correct practice, as the Buddha taught in his lifetime. Come to be bhikkhu, the Dhamma is well expounded. Lead the sublime life, to perform righteousness to the utmost of suffering by the right way. Finally, we can know whether our Dhamma practice is successful or not by observing 5 raptures appearing during the Dhamma practice. If the mind experiences the state of 5 raptures, such a state tells us whether or not our practice by the 4 foundations of mindfulness is correct, and the fruition comes true as the Buddha taught. This can greatly assert whether or not the Buddha's teachings are true and whether our mind development by insight meditation is practiced correctly. Please remember that the mind in the level of rapture is not yet developed to the trance state jhana. However, we must keep in mind that the state of 5 raptures, which will be used in comparing the fruition from the real practice and the practice in theory, to see whether or not they are the same thing as we study and practice by ourselves. When we practice in the standing posture for a long time, the pain and the ache naturally rise. We must note the strong, painful feelings, and then change the posture to a new meditation posture. Walking meditation. We meditators must understand first that the method of the Dhamma practice in walking posture succeeds standing meditation posture. Before walking, we must stand upright, keep the mind relaxed, not wandering a few minutes, and after that begin the walking meditation. The action of walking meditation is that we should lower our heads a little, keep eyesight within the span of 2 to 4 meters, and place left hand on the surface of the belly, and right hand on the former. You must keep in the manner of proper and natural walk, neither too slow nor too quick, neither too long nor too short, and try to hold the body evenly. In walking meditation, we must let the body be easy in the nature of walking, neither forcing nor hardening the walk like walking hurriedly. Do not close eyes, as we cannot see the walking path. While walking, we must chant Buddho, Buddho, together with mindfully noting, walking every moment of stepping. Try best to keep the walk natural, focusing on knotting the stepping state, because without the skill in knotting, there will not be any progress of the practice. Starting walking meditation, we must note the mind and matter appearing at the body door. At the moment of walking, our soul touches the floor, soft and solid depending on the floor we touch. In walking meditation, we realize the feeling as the soul's. As soon as the left foot touches the floor, the feeling rises. We must chant Bud. For the right when we chant Do, doing so is nothing the feeling of stepping. Chant continuously Buddho every moment of stepping. The important point to understand is how we note correctly in walking meditation. The answer is to note that state of stepping together with chanting. While stepping on the floor, we feel as the soul. The feeling rises clearly like when the left foot steps, it touches the floor. The feeling appears clearly. Chanting Bud is made right away and do in the stepping of the right foot. Keep doing so throughout the walking meditation practice until we change the posture into another one. Observation. We must mindfully note that the state of stepping in time, every moment the real feeling of stepping rises clearly in stepping, and chant Buddha simultaneously. We must also be aware all the time that now we are doing walking meditation. We are stepping. We must always be aware of what we are doing. The clear awareness will stay all the time when we can skillfully note the mind and matter. In walking meditation, we realize walking when the feeling rises as the soul touching the floor together with the clear comprehension that there is a moving state of stepping. Such a feeling is the feeling of the mind and matter appearing at the body door, body organ. In whatever posture we practice meditation, do not forget note the mind and matter appearing clearly every moment. When the mind realizes the feeling of the mind and matter appearing clearly at the six body doors, six sense organs, we must not miss noting these feelings in time. Consequently, in practicing meditation by noting the mind and matter, if we are able to realize respiration, do note both the respiration and the mind and matter simultaneously. We may realize only that the body is breathing, but we do not realize the breathing air. It does not matter. When breathing in, chant Bod, and breathing out, Do, since the feeling of the noted mind and matter appearing at the body door and body organs does not move to other parts of the body, but the body still has respiration, and chanting and notation of the mind and matter can harmoniously go together at the same time in Dhamma practice. In walking meditation, we must intensively practice until the body encounters the most painful feeling. We cannot stand it, so we can change the posture into another meditation posture. Doing so is the right practice. When practicing Dhamma in any posture of standing, walking, sitting, or lying, we must do with extreme effort until the strong painful feeling appears and affects us so much that we cannot stand it any longer. We then change into another practice posture. We must note the feeling of the mind conditioned by sense objects, either good or bad, in practicing the teachings. We must hold the mind focused on mindfully noting the physical body, feelings, mind, and mind objects appearing as sense objects. If mind is conditioned by sense objects mostly due to the feelings of pain and ache, the mind wanders and is restless. While facing the most painful feelings in the Dhamma practice, we will find out by ourselves how the truth of suffering and feelings are. The practice comes to the point. It is necessary to change the practicing posture into others ones. In walking meditation, we mindfully observe the body, which is considered as the base for mindfulness on the truth of life. When we keep on practicing, the sense objects of body, feelings, mind, and mind objects will manifest as sensations in the body. During the practice, we do not need to control the mind, only follow to mindfully observe as a watcher the mind and the matter. As a result, we will realize the sense objects of the four foundations of mindfulness. This is the right practice of insight meditation. Conclusion of walking meditation. In walking meditation, we know walking manner from the stepping of the left foot and the right foot touching the floor. When the soul touches the floor, the feelings of softness, solidness, cold, and heat, which is the feeling resulting from the mind and the matter appearing at the body door, rises. Realizing that now we are doing walking meditation, we are stepping, we mindfully note the state of the stepping on the floor. When left foot touches the floor, the feeling at the soul rises. Chant Bud and Do for the right one together with doing walking meditation. To be able to realize walking manner, we have to mindfully note every moment the feeling of the soul touching the floor, which is the state of the mind and matter appearing at the body door of body organ. Developing the mind to observe the mind and matter together with chanting Buddha is mind development to attain full mindfulness by noting the mind and matter as sense object all the time. The developed mind will be more powerful and able to eradicate all defilements. It becomes a good mind with more mindfulness and clear consciousness than before. Such a mind is a qualitative, perfect, and suitable for removing defilements and cravings. The clear consciousness can be developed if we realize clearly the state of awareness that we are now walking, stepping, and realize the state of walking every moment together with noting the mind and matter at the body door or body organ. If we can realize the clear consciousness appearing directly as any part of the body, which is the clear awareness of the mind and matter, at the body door all throughout walking meditation period. It will be mind development to attain perfect clear consciousness by walking meditation method according to the four foundations of mindfulness. Satipatthana, or insight meditation. Like other meditation posture, we must intensely practice the walking meditation until we cannot do any longer because of the greatest tribulation, pain, and ache appearing at the legs. We thus have to change the meditation posture into another one. However, we have to note that meditation posture change is due to the strongest painful feeling. We are required to have the most patience and make an extreme effort in the practice of the teachings until the body encounters the pain and ache appearing at the body so much that we cannot go on practicing meditation. Doing so is building up extreme effort in our mind. The walking meditation is the way to develop mind by four satipatthana, mindfully observing the physical body, feelings, mind, and mind objects to build up the progress of the mindfulness, clear consciousness, and effort. By doing so, we can cultivate wisdom that leads to the nibbana, attainment in Buddhism at last. Sitting meditation. Sitting meditation is a meditation posture succeeding the walking posture due to the extreme painful feeling. The method of sitting meditation is as follows. We must sit straight with two eyes closed and secure mindfulness like the Buddha image in sitting posture by sitting with legs folded, having the right foot on top of the left one and the right hand with open palm on the open palm of the left hand in the lap. Make the mind easy. Do not worry about anything, neither the past nor the future, and only attend to the meditation practice. We must mindfully note the mind and matter appearing clearly at the body door or body organ, together with chanting Buddho at the same time like practicing meditation by other postures. Buddho means the night one. Mindfulness on the mind and matter is mainly exercised at the door body where a distinct feeling of cold, heat, softness, and solidness appears. The mind has to be mindful of such a distinct feeling. When we know what the mind and matter such a sense object belongs to, do instantly realize it as a sense object of such the mind and matter appearing at the body door. We almost pay no attention to the sense objects appearing at the other doors because we train the mind and to be mindful of the body only, especially when we practice with eyes closed. We do not need to be mindfully note the sense object appearing at the eye door. This is the case for sitting meditation when we practice with eyes closed. The most effective tip for Visappana Bhavana to enable us to practice Dhamma effectively is control mind to be mindfully note only the body. Do not let it be conditioned by the other sense objects and wander anywhere outside the body at all. When the mind wanders, bring it back to the note to the physical body immediately. If the conditioned mind wanders outside the body, there will not be sense objects of the four foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana, namely body, feeling, mind, and mind objects. The practice is not right by way of four foundations of mindfulness or Visappana Bhavana. We know I am sitting now. This is the feeling of the mind and matter appearing at the body door or body oring at the moment of sitting meditation. The feeling of cold, heat, softness, and solidness clearly appearing at the bottom area, the folded and overlapped legs, is the mind and the matter at the body door or body organ. Another thing that makes us know I am sitting now is the continuous clear consciousness. In sitting meditation, we do not need to note anything at the eye door due to the closed eyes. Ears may be agitated somewhat by several sounds, and new meditators, we must seek a quiet place to sit, so no need to note the sound so much. We do not worry about the tongue door because the Dhamma practice period is not the meal time. Regarding mind door, mind may not be calm yet. We have to realize that. If the mind is conditioned, we must train it to be mindfully note the arising and passing away of the mind and matter appearing as feelings at sense doors. Mainly at the body door, i.e. the feelings of cold, heat, softness, and solidness which appear clearly at any part of the body. We, as a watcher, have to realize its clear appearance at the body door. We must note them immediately. The most effective tip for the Dhamma practiced by the four foundations of mindfulness or Visappana Bhavana insight meditation is to train mind to be mindful of the mind and matter at the body door only. By doing so, we will note the sense objects of the body, feelings, mind, and mind objects. We have to practice by mindfully noting in time as a watcher the arising and falling away of the mind and matter at the part of the body where a distinct feeling appears. This is to perceive the current sense objects.
As regards the nose door, breathing air is still passing through the nose, striking the upper nose tip and upper lip. Cold, which we realize is the state of matter appearing at the body door. At the same time, the mind realizing the feeling of the cold is a state of mind. Therefore, mindfulness on breathing is mindfulness on mind at the body door. When we practice by the four foundations of mindfulness, we are mindful of the mind and matter at the body door. We thus lack mindfulness of breathing, which is a means of concentration meditation. Realizing respiration is the practice method of insight meditation because the feeling of the mind and matter appears at the body door. Insight meditation is exercised by perfect mindfulness on the body, feeling, mind, and mind objects. Developing our mind to note the breathing air striking the tip of the nose is concentration development. The method is practiced by controlling the mind to concentrate more on any sense objects for mind tranquility. The practice by way of the four satipatthana is for both concentration development and insight development. While practicing, we, meditators, must distinguish between tranquility development and insight development. Although we use the mind and matter as sense objects to control mind when practicing the four satipatthana or vipassana bhavana or insight meditation, we cannot neglect knowing that the body has inhalation and exhalation. Whenever realizing inhalation, we chant Bod and Do for exhalation, mainly noting mindfully the mind and matter appearing at the body door. We can also note respiration at the same time if it appears clearly. We practice the teachings as a good watcher only. Sometimes the mind and matter do not manifest yet as feelings at any body door, but the body is still breathing. We can note the breathing and chant Buddha at the same time. In sitting meditation, we must note the mind and matter at the body door together while chanting Buddha. We have to chant it clearly inside. When knowing that the feeling of the mind and matter appears clearly, we must chant Bud. If the feeling of the mind and matter moves to another part of the body, note it and chant Do all the time. Though we change the posture into the other meditation postures, chanting Buddha, Buddha, every moment is required also. We must not care whether or not the mind cultivates concentration and to which grade the progress of the practice is made. We only know and understand the method in noting in time the mind and the matter as well as the current sense objects every moment, practice with extreme effort until the body meets the most painful feeling and can no longer practice the Dhamma as clearly explained. Do the same as every practice. This is the correct practice by means of the four foundations of mindfulness. When noting the mind and matter sharply and deftly, we realize the right practice of the four foundations of mindfulness. Any feeling of cold, heat, softness, or solidness appearing clearly at the body door is called matter. The mind realizes that there is such a feeling appearing at any of the body door. This mind realization is called mind. In sitting meditation, we just note the mind realizing the feeling which is appearing at the body door. What is exercise is, when realizing the arising of the mind and matter, we must immediately note it. Then we must keep on watching at the arising and passing away of the mind and matter, and to which part of the body the arising and passing away of the mind and body move. Apart from the body door, there may be some states of Dham appearing, such as mind objects appearing as the mind door. The mind may be conditioned during the sitting meditation. Take a look at how the mind is conditioned and note it together with chanting. By doing so, the mind will be powerful and fully qualitative. The mind and matter appearing at the other doors is not very conspicuous, since we mainly note the mind and matter at the body door. By doing so, the mind will be secure and concentrated on the body. As a result, wisdom can be developed to realize the truth of the body, that is, a state of suffering. In sitting meditation, we must not force our mind to concentrate on in any particular point. We, as a watcher of the mind and matter, just have to keep the mind stay in the natural state. In fact, the purpose of the meditation practice is to attain insight or to realize suffering, that the body is impermanent, suffering and selfless. There are three criteria in attaining insight, namely 1, intensive practice of the meditation, 2, knowledge of the right method of that practice, and 3, great effort in Dhamma practice. Not doing so, the attainment of the insight knowledge is impossible. We must do the sitting meditation so intensely that we can no longer due to the strongest painful feelings appearing at the body. After that, we change the meditation posture into another one. Doing so is the right meditation method of the four foundations of mindfulness, contemplation of body, feelings, mind, and mind objects. The pain and the ache of the body due to sitting meditation, like at the legs, bottom, etc., are the painful feelings which we must note all the time. This is suffering. The four foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana, are the sense objects which we must intensely develop the mind to note mindfully by concentrating on the body door or body organ. After that, the sense objects are feeling mind, and mind objects will manifest when the strongest painful feeling appears at the body throughout the sitting meditation. The sense objects of the four satipatthana appearing to the living persons only, not to the dead, and that have no feelings of the sense objects. So we meditators must mindfully note these four satipatthana to develop the wisdom leading to realization of the truth of the body as it is. Summary of the sitting meditation. First, meditators must sit with eyes closed, mindfully note the mind and matter arising and passing away mainly at the body door or body organ. Do so little at other doors or sense organs. This also applies to meditation practice by other postures. The most important thing for meditation by way of the four foundations of mindfulness is that mindfulness is exercised mainly on the physical body only. Three doctrines which we must know and understand very well because they are very important in the practice to build up and develop our mind are mindfulness, clear, and consciousness and effort. Sati means mindfulness. The mindfulness in sitting meditation is that we may mindfully note continuously the mind and matter appearing clearly at the body door or body organ and practice the meditation as the person who watches the mind and matter, rupa and nama, every moment, and the mind realizes feelings. To develop the mind for attaining perfect and efficient mindfulness, we must be able to note the mind and matter arising and passing away at the body door or body organ skillfully and deftly by way of the four satipatthana. Practicing accordingly, the mind will be concentrated within the body. It will not wander to perceive external feelings, and the mind will then be calm and powerful eventually. The importance of the Dhamma practice is that we can train mind to attain perfect and efficient mindfulness, to know the truth of the body. It is impermanent, suffering, and subject to decay at last. To know the truth of the body, that it is impermanent, suffering, and selfless, we must develop our mind for attaining the mindfulness perfect and efficient in noting the sense objects of the mind and matter within the body by watching and rising and falling away of the mind and matter at the body door. Sabjana means clear comprehension, consciousness, awareness. In sitting meditation, clear consciousness manifests in mind due to the realization of the feeling of the mind and matter appearing at the body door or body organ. We must be able to note the feelings rising from this sense objects or the mind and matter in time when it appears at the body door. This is to note the current sense objects. Doing so, we comprehend clearly what we are doing. We can realize clear consciousness of any current posture, being main postures, standing, walking, sitting, and lying, or minor postures, folding and stretching the arm, lowering and raising the head, looking right and left, eating, drinking, or washing face, etc. For instance, we can practice sitting meditation even we are sitting with eyes closed. We can realize the sitting. Being able to realize a clear consciousness at the body door or body organ means we are developing the mind for attaining clear consciousness, perfect and efficient in comprehending every moment so that the mind will not be controlled by unwholesomeness or defilements and desires and can be developed further to attain cessation of suffering finally. Developing mind to clear comprehension can be made by mindfully noting the mind and matter resulting in several sense objects, namely cold, heat, softness, and solidness appearing at the body door or body organ. Doing so will enable the mind to cultivate clear consciousness all the time at the body door or body organ. Then we must follow to note the clear consciousness of the feeling rising at the body door. The effort means the intention to perform wholesome actions. Herein, the effort means sedulousness and intention to practice the teachings by means of the four foundations of mindfulness. The fruitful results from the sitting meditation by way of the four satipatthana relies on the effort. The effort insists of four paths of accomplishment, iddhipada, the four great efforts. We must practice meditation so intensely that we cannot do any longer due to the strongest painful feeling happening at the body. Doing so means that we develop our mind to build up great effort in the meditation practice by the four satipatthana in Buddhism. We must pay mindfulness, wisdom, effort, and attention to the meditation practice for attaining the cessation of suffering. This asserts that we have really made a great effort in developing mind. This is to train mind to develop effort. Suggestions for sitting meditation by means of the four satipatthana, vipassana bhavana. 1. We must mindfully note the mind and matter happening at the body door or body organ every moment to develop the mind to always focus on the sense object of the mind and matter. 2. The supreme purpose of the Dhamma practice is to attain insight knowledge, that is, the ability to see suffering, attaining insight into the truth of life. Mind will find way out of the body. The mind can separate from the body. It is the result from developing the mind by way of the visappana. The state that the mind can separate from the body is called the fourth jhana, the fourth absorption. 3. Do not worry about 10 imperfections happening. We must mindfully note the mind and matter as sense objects. 4. Do not cling to the mental images, especially 10 imperfections. 5. In practicing the four foundations of mindfulness, the mind can be concentrated. We must know the feeling state of 5 raptures, especially diffuse rapture, telling the feeling that the body is relieved, relaxed, bigger, and taller unusually. When passing the level of the diffuse rapture state, the mind attains the jhana state. In practicing until achieving the insight knowledge, we will experience the mental images by ourselves. We must seriously study and sharply remember the scriptures about the method of the meditation practice for comparison during the practice, whether the practice result is in line with theory, and we can use theory as the map to tell us the right way. In the Dhamma practice, the level of concentration may happen from momentary concentration, access concentration, to 4 jhanas, which we can practice and attain. Therefore, we must know the scriptures very well to practice the Dhamma rightly. It is no important whether or not the mind can cultivate concentration. The important point is that in whatever posture we are practicing, we must practice until the strongest painful feeling appears at the body and then change to new practice posture. We must do the same every time of the practice.
Lying meditation. Meditators must lie with eyes closed, not lie prone. Lie in an easy manner, 2 legs straightened, the back on the floor with joining hands on the chest or the right hand on the left on the chest, depending on the individual's like. The important point is that we must lie with 2 eyes closed and mindfully note the mind and matter appearing at the body door, body organ only. In lying meditation, we note the mind and matter appearing as feelings of cold, heat, softness, or solidness at the body door, mostly at the back on the floor, the heels and the overlapped hands on the chest, coupled with chanting Buddho. In time, every time the sense object of the mind and matter arises, changes and passes away at the body door. The method of lying meditation is that we lie down still, do not move any part of the body, and note the mind and matter at the body door silently inside. We must practice by the lying posture so intensively that we can no longer do due to the strongest painful feeling at the body. After that, we can change the meditation posture as early mentioned. This is practicing by lying till utmost of suffering. Suffering means physical and mental pain. It is the first noble truth of the 4 noble truths. It must be noted. The suffering makes us know the sense object of the 4 satipatthana, body, feelings, mind, and mind objects. We are to train mind to mindfully note as a watcher the mind and matter in time when the sense objects appears at the body door and chant Buddho at the same time as well. We must realize clear consciousness all the time that now we are lying down practicing the meditation. This is mind development to cultivate perfect and efficient clear consciousness. We must be mindful every moment by bewaring of ourselves not to fall asleep inattentively. When the painful feeling happens at the body more strongly than we can continue our lying meditation, we can return to the starting posture, standing, then walking, sitting, and lying respectively. We have to practice in all postures respectively and continuously. Meditators may practice the Dhamma by only 2 postures, walking and sitting, if they know the method of the Buddhist meditation practice correctly. That is why we must practice in each posture intensively till the utmost of suffering. It is the right practice by way of the Buddhist meditation practice, as the Buddha said, "Come to be bhikkhus." The Dhamma is well expounded. Lead the sublime life to perform righteousness till the utmost of suffering by the right way. In lying meditation, we lie down in the easiest manner, with 2 legs straight and a bit apart from each other. The important point is that we note the mind and matter appearing only at the body door and body organ in time when the sense objects appear. We do very little at other doors. At eye door, we do nothing because we practice with eyes closed. At tongue door, we do nothing because it's not mealtime. The body door is the most important door because it is the main door of
4. Mindfulness on the mind and matter, which is the truth of life. When our mind realizes the sense objects that they are the feelings of cold, heat, softness, or solidness appearing at the body door. We must follow to observe the feelings of the mind and matter in time, every moment coupled with chanting Buddho, Buddho. The chanting and the mindfulness on the mind and matter must go in harmony by way of the 4 satipatthana. Summary of lying meditation. In lying meditation, we must note the feelings of the mind and matter, which are the feelings of cold, heat, softness, or solidness clearly appearing at any part of the body. When the feeling rises at the body door or body organ, we must observe it in time every moment of their arising and passing away. Mostly the feelings of the mind and matter arise at the back, at the heels, and in the overlapped palms at the chest. We must follow to note these feelings every moment so as to understand the practical method by way of the 4 satipatthana very well. In any posture of the Dhamma practice, there are 3 doctrines we must note, namely mindfulness, clear consciousness, and great effort. Sati means mindfulness. The development of the mind for mindfulness in lying meditation can be exercised by noting the mind and matter appearing clearly at any part of the body in time every moment of its manifest. The mind with mindfulness is perfect and efficient for doing several works. Sampajana means clear consciousness, comprehension, awareness. A clear consciousness resulting from the mind development in lying meditation is that we can always realize the clear awareness appearing in the main postures on what we are doing. For instance, we are practicing lying meditation. We note several feelings of the mind and matter happening at the body door or body organ all at the same time. This is the development of the mind to attain clear awareness. When we observe the mind and matter every moment, the mind does not wander to realize other sense objects outside the body at all. This is the perfect clear awareness which will be the most useful for our life and works. The effort means of the 4 great efforts, padhana, and the 4 paths of accomplishment, iddhipada, which are attentive efforts to perform wholesome actions. In lying meditation, we can develop mind to attain a great effort by making it an aspiration, chanda. For our Dhamma practice and putting a great effort, viriya, into lying meditation. Despite the strongest pain and ache happening at the body, we must tolerate, not lose heart, and make a great effort to go on practicing the teachings. This is practicing until we see the most painful feelings at the body. The result of the practice is that the mind can attain the great effort leading to attainment of the nibbana in accordance with the doctrines of the 4 paths of accomplishment. Iddhipada. Iddhipada means the Dhamma leading to achievement of the success. Iddhipada has 4 divisions as follows. Chanda means aspiration to do something, to do it regularly, and wish to do it better and better. 2. Viriya means a great effort to do something. 3. Citta means thoughtfulness on what we are doing. Do not let the mind wander. Dedication to what is being done. 4. Vimasa means wise examination for rationality, investigation for improvement. The great effort obtained in lying meditation practice is cultivated by intending and trying to practice the Dhamma in lying posture to achieve the success as expected. Therefore, in this posture, we can develop our mind to attain mindfulness, clear comprehension, and effort like in the other meditation postures. We mindfully note as a watcher the mind and matter appearing at the body door and at the same time chant Buddho all the time throughout the practice until we obtain some fruits or change the posture. The important features for the practice by the 4 satipatthana or vipassana in 4 main postures, standing, walking, sitting, and lying, may be summarized as follows. 1. Sati is characterized as the ability of the mind in observing the mind and matter. Sampajana is characterized as the ability of the mind to be aware of what we are doing. Viriya is characterized as the ability of the mind with a great effort in practicing the teachings for the attainment of Nibbana, the ultimate purpose. These 3 doctrines must be studied thoroughly because they are the most important for the Dhamma practice in all postures. The real purpose of the practice is to develop our mind to attain mindfulness, clear awareness, and effort, and are perfect and efficient for attenuating, relinquishing, and ceasing defilements from the mind. 2. The Dhamma practice by 4 postures is mind development to attain the mindfulness and mindfully noting the mind and matter appearing at the body door or body organ. The practice will make our mind concentrated on the body only. We can develop our mind to attain clear awareness by always awaking when the mind and matter arise, pass away, and change within the body door or body organ. Doing so is mind development for full awareness. 3. The main purpose of the Dhamma practice is the attainment of complete cessation of all suffering and all our defilements. We must make a great effort in practicing Dhamma to develop the mind by way of the 4 satipatthana. When doing so sharply, wisdom is developed. This is attainment of insight knowledge. The insight knowledge is insight into the truth of suffering, that the compounded things are impermanent. Suffering and selflessness is it not I, mine, they, their, etc. Then we will be able to absolutely remove the arrangement of the mind which prevents us from seeing things as they are due to lack of mindfulness, clear comprehension. For instance, we see that the body is beautiful, life is happy. In fact, our life is really suffering from birth, old age, illness, and death, which manifest daily. For the meditation practice by four postures by way of the four satipatthana must rightly be exercised as explained. We must mindfully note the mind and matter appearing at the body only. When the mind is conditioned and wanders out of the body, we must hurriedly bring it back and concentrate it on the body only. The method of the meditation practice must always be applied to four postures. 5. We practice meditation by four postures standing, walking, sitting, and lying in the line with the four foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana. By mindfully noting only body, feeling, mind, and mind objects as the sense objects of the mind and matter, we use the mind and matter as the sense objects of the meditation exercise in developing the mind to attain mindfulness, clear comprehension, and great effort. In four postures of the Dhamma practice, we must practice in a natural manner. We do not control the mind to focus on any part of the body. We just follow to note the mind and matter appearing clearly at the body door in time of every moment. In doing so, we can realize sense objects which are current with mindfulness and awareness. 6. We must be able to distinguish what mind is and what matter is. It is because these both must be used as sense objects appearing at the body door to be rightly noted in four meditation postures by way of the four satipatthana. 7. We must practice meditation by every meditation posture intensely until we can no longer do to the strongest painful feeling appearing at the body before changing the meditation posture in every posture. According to the four foundations of mindfulness method, we control the mind to be mindful of body, feeling, mind, and mind objects as sense objects. We must practice to the extremity of suffering. 8. We must use most favorable the sacred chanting word which will be beneficial to us. Here we chant Buddha and Buddha's name. When noting the appearing point of the mind and matter, we chant Bud silently. If we know that the body is still breathing, though we cannot realize breathing and the mind and matter do not yet appear clearly at the body door, we should continue chanting so that the mind can cultivate concentration power in stopping defilements. When the arising and passing away of the mind and matter move to any part of the body, we must note them in time. We must mindfully note them as a watcher. Every moment they appear clearly as a feeling of the mind and chant Do. In conclusion, we chant Buddha, Buddha, Buddha throughout the Dhamma practice by four postures. Moreover, we can chant Buddha at the noting point by not separating the chanting word Bud and one point Do and another point or the chanting may not be made at all. The important point is only to focus on realizing the mind and matter appearing clearly at the body door. 9. The results of the meditation practice by way of the four foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana, in Buddhism are divided into two types, namely concentration, samadhi, and insight, vipassana. Concentration means one-pointedness of mind which is not conditioned by external sense objects. Mind is concentrated on one sense object only. In any posture of the practice, we follow to note the mind and matter appearing at the body only every moment. The level of concentration attainment depends on wisdom and effort in developing mind by way of the four satipatthana. The concentration attained from the Dhamma practice by means of the four foundations of mindfulness is pure concentration that can fight against the power of defilements. This results in attenuating and relinquishing defilements and removing absolutely five hindrances, nirvana. Vipassana means the insight into the truth of life. Component things are as they are. All lives component things fall under the law of the three common characteristics: impermanence, suffering, and selflessness. Practicing Vipassana by developing the mind to note the mind and matter appearing in the body door according to the four satipatthana in Buddhism, we will attain the insight into the truth of life, the arising and passing away of the mind and matter. It is not ourselves. The mental concentration brings the following fruition. 1. The mind becomes calm because concentration can inhibit five hindrances. 2. Meditators will develop sharp wisdom and qualitative remembrance. 3. Works done are tidy, correct, qualified, efficient, and hardly erroneous because the work are performed with good concentration. 4. Those with good concentration will not be easily misled into bad activities. 5. Meditators will cultivate self-confidence. 6. They will attain supernatural powers in Buddhism, i.e. divine ear, divine eye, etc. 7. The meditation practice will lead to the attainment of the Dhamma of higher levels such as Nibbana, which means cessation of all defilements by Sito Vimutti, meaning primary liberation by mental concentration. The advantages of the four Sapitana Vipassana bhikkhus, whoever practiced these four Sapitana for 7 consecutive years will obtain any of the two advantages, namely 1. Attaining Arhatha Phala, final emancipation at the present time, or 2. Attaining Anagami, the non-returner. If cravings and false views remain,
7 years may be unnecessary. Whoever practices these four satipatthana for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 consecutive years at 1 year will attain any of the two advantages, namely 1, attaining arhatha phala, final emancipation, and at the present time, or 2, attaining anagami, the non-returner, if cravings and false views remain. 1 year may be unnecessary. Whoever practices four satipatthana for 7 consecutive months will attain any of the two advantages, namely 1, attaining Arhathavala, final emancipation in the present time, or 2, attaining anagami, the non-returner, if cravings and false views remain. 7 months may be unnecessary. Whoever practices these four satipatthana for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 consecutive months, or 1 or 15 consecutive days, will attain any of the two advantages, namely 1, attaining Arhatha final emancipation at the present time, or 2, obtaining anagami, the non-returner, if cravings and false views remain. 15 days may be unnecessary. Whoever practices these four satipatthana for 7 consecutive days will attain any of the two advantages, namely 1, attaining arhathala, final emancipation in the present time, or 2, attaining anagami, the non-returner, if cravings and false views remain. Bhikkhus, the only one path for purity of all living beings, for cessation of grief and lamentation, for annihilation of suffering and mental displeasure, for righteous enlightenment, and for attainment of nibbana is the four satipatthana.